This is Sherix Broadcast Network. For news, education, sports, weather, technology, science, culture and more. This is Sherix from our headquarters in Houston, Texas. Hosted by Ibrahim.
Hello, my family, Unakabo. Welcome to Sherix Broadcast Network, the place where we bring Africa live to whoever you day around the globe. Of course, today another special day where we bring this special coverage of African information and education live from studio number 2. And of course, we're very much delighted for able to do this right about this time. If this is not your first time for joining, we want to take opportunity of this moment right now for welcome you officially to Sherix Broadcast Network and for assure you for say you don't make the right decision for kind of the right place. Of course, now Sherix Broadcast Network, because Naya would bring live information from Sierra Leone and other parts of Africa to you. Information about, information, news and education. And different topics that we get interest or where you go get interest in. And so we welcome you once more because you didn't ask so. And so today, with many, we get plenty things that we'll get for talk about. You know, we get for talk about mainly this is not a pre-independence anniversary broadcast, because until when I know say next year Sierra Leone get for turn 56 years after where we get independence from British colonial rule, and so this now we own independence broadcast, independence celebration. And so we get for bring you, can you go back into those days when we been get independence, waiting be happen, waiting the forefathers that we do, and waiting some of the plans that we then left in place for able for govern we serve as a country, right? And of course, we also get for compare, waiting be happen during those days in the 1960s, in the 1970s, now Sierra Leone, as compared to waiting the happen today now the country. We get for compare those two, especially focusing on some of the internal problems that will be done to take place in the country, including the many clashes will be done to occur between the Sierra Leone police and the youths, especially, and then of course university students. And of course we get for also talk about a recent clash will happen between the police and the military in the country. Of course, we talk also about the ritual murders that we would see a lot of murders, a lot of killings. We see people that die, that they kill people, that they cut them, body parts them, which is not a Sierra Leonean. But so we'll get for go into all of that and talk about today on this day. And so we get a package of information, news and education for you. And of course we'll also get for bring you one of our newest brother, a new musical artist. We don't hit a record or two records that we'll get for bring come to you today for let you go able for see exactly what we are talking about. So we don't let people that tell you what you will do na Sherix Broadcast Network. You want to make sure say you are part of what we are doing here. So stick around with us, all right?
Music.
Let's collabo.
no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Oh, Mr. Jacob, baby, my life is me. Let me do a dear, oh, Mr. Dear. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Yes, I will let you know, final. Tonya, Pacola, we have with final. He got more day, line on Abba, and I you wonder the sign. From a hill of Montome, my Madama, dear Mendoza again. When I leave me, I call label, me, you know, could I drink on all day? Walk back for me, but we're not so problem. I in that way, I have a collabo, they are solved them. Yanga Jaga, now you tempo block them. Don't Mama Comilo, I will not be problem. Famia, Yanya Puma Cane, or Otology, Vesele Mumagale. He got Gasele Sele, my Madama Malila, Kele. Kuna podo media scatter na collabo no more a beats that you baza configure data Rooney and Massa you occupy space maybe you na matter na you deserve and can't take can it work way at the Q50 fat Mr. Jacob baby my life is me let me do a dear what is that dear baby no worry oh money they are for fire baby no worry oh money they are for fire. Oh, Mr. Jacob, baby, my life is me. Let me do a dear, what is that dear? Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire.
This is Sherix Broadcast Network. For news, education, sports, weather, technology, science, culture and more. This is Sherix from our headquarters in Houston, Texas. Hosted by Ibrahim.
Hello, my family, Unakabo. Welcome to Sherix Broadcast Network, the place where we bring Africa live to whoever you day around the globe. Of course, today another special day where we bring this special coverage of African information and education live from studio number 2. And of course, we're very much delighted for able to do this right about this time. If this is not your first time for joining, we want to take opportunity of this moment right now for welcome you officially to Sherix Broadcast Network and for assure you for say you don't make the right decision for Canada the right place. Of course, na Sherix Broadcast Network because Naya would bring live information from Sierra Leone and other parts of Africa to you. Information about information, news and education. And different topics that we get interest or where you go get interest in. And so we welcome you once more because you didn't ask so. And so today, we many will get plenty things that we'll get for talk about. We get for talk about mainly this is not a pre-independence anniversary broadcast, because until when I know say next year Sierra Leone get for turn 56 years after we get independence from British colonial rule, and so this now we own independence broadcast, independence celebration. And so we get for bring you, can you go back into those days when we been get independence, waiting be happen, waiting the forefathers that we do, and waiting some of the plans that we then left in place for able for govern we serve as a country, right? And of course, we also get for compare, waiting be happen during those days in the 1960s, in the 1970s, now Sierra Leone, as compared to waiting the happen today now the country. We get for compare those two, especially focusing on some of the internal problems that will be done to take place in the country, including the many clashes will be done to occur between the Sierra Leone police and the youths, especially, and then of course university students. And of course we get for also talk about a recent clash will happen between the police and the military in the country. Of course, we talk also about the ritual murders that we see a lot of murders, a lot of killings. We see people that die, that they kill people, that they cut them, body parts them, which is not a Sierra Leonean. But so we therefore go into all of that and talk about today on this day. And so we get a package of information, news, and education for you. And of course, we'll also therefore bring you one of our newest brother, a new musical artist. We don't hit a record or two records that we'll therefore bring come to you today for let you go able to see exactly what we are talking about. So we want for me to stick around as we continue for bring you the show. We want for me to sit on tight, want for let people they tell you what you will do na Sherix Broadcast Network. You want for make sure say you are part of what we are doing here. So stick around with us, all right?
Succulent. Mananemi, baby, oh, mananemi. Mananemi, baby, oh, mananemi. Oh, Mr. Jacob, baby, mananemi, let me do my dear, oh, Mr. Dear. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Oh, Mr. Jacob, baby, my life is here. Let me do a dear, oh, Mr. Dear. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh, money they are for fire. Yaga wole fino fino Tonya fa te collabo nya bui fino Higo ga mo eje de line on aba menya anya de na you want the signo Fame hile bu motome my magama dia me no tiage Benya liba me ade call belo me jinya ugale kuda drink omole Wofa for me ko no to problem I na gbele aba makolabo they solve them Nyanga jaga na itempo block them do mama komilo na mo no be problem Famia nyanya bui makane oto legit vesele mo magale Higo ga sele my magama malila kele Kuna podo meji eskata na collabo no weta be beats da yo baza configure data runi e mata ili occupy space maybe you na matter na it is up and can take am can e gwegbe I dey give 50 fat Mr. Jacob baby my life dey me let me do a dear what is that dear baby no worry oh money they are for fire baby no worry oh money they are for fire. Oh, Mr. Jacob, baby, my life is here. money they are for fire. Follow me, baby, follow me. Make us get up for you the money. Make you use on the Ferrari. Bologna, baby, don't want from me electronic. Then you sugar body, then they make a party, make us spend the coverage. I go be you, bumper manager. They call me the big spender. I'm fresh from the bunker. Spend for you flank to flanker. Real five-star body man, not the fascia. Now you not your own skin. Come make a body shout money, make it clean. Baby, calamity. Check your lifestyle and make you look like celebrity. Oh, Miss Pictures up, baby. My land name me, love me do my dear. Oh, Miss Sandy, baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Oh, Miss Pictures up, baby. My land name me, love me do my dear. Oh, Miss Sandy, baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Baby, money now there. I said the color now there. If money do I get the checkbooks, not a bread for spend by pretty looks. Baby, money now there. I said the color now there. If only do I get the checkbooks, not a bread for spend by pretty looks. Then I'm back with a spend ya. Barbecue kiss out with the jamaya. Mix it up with and waterloo polio. Beat me fine Susan me Nike polo. Look at the hanger like polo. I be telling say they go shop for in a Congo. Now you want to them maybe then they follow. I know they consent like you na me ya wo. Pay all your bills, feel how you feel. Now here you don't make up the right deal. Collab on the door, mama come here for salute. Oh, Miss Pictures up, baby. My life is here. Love it to my dear. Oh, Miss Sandy. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Oh, Miss Pictures up, baby. My life is here. Love it to my dear. Oh, Miss Sandy. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire. Baby, no worry, oh. Money they are for fire.
Yes, my family, of course, that's now Collabo featuring Succulent, of course, a brand new song from Sierra Leone, of course, from William Brother Collabo featuring Succulent. Of course, the title now Money Dey Naya for Fire. Of course, now this will call Sierra Leone music. Oh, talk about Salo music. Now this is not Salo music. You go agree with me for say the beats, the lyrics, and everything, even the way the guy then dress inside the video. This Nina real Salo music. And of course, now we want to say a lot of thanks to Collabo, and this make me feel very proud, especially that during this we pre-Sierra Leonean independence celebration, you know, they play song like this, it make we feel so good about our country, because now this now some of the problems that the country they face, wherein we young folks there, especially the musical artists there nowadays, that they try for be somebody else. Either they want for be hip-hop artists, or they want for be R&B singers, or they want for be a reggae superstars. I mean, where is that Sierra Leonean song? Where is that Sierra Leonean beat? Where they play any sign of the world that they associate with Sierra Leone? Where is that? You know, so that's the question what we don't they ask. But at any rate, the guy we just don't come inside the music business with a bam. You know what I mean? We not be done the area, me not be done the area, and password don't begin to see and so. And waiting it they do, it intertwine culture into his songs. You know, the next song we can play, you go see. Just hang out with small na so. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today inside we broadcast, we'll get for focus on Sierra Leone as a country. And of course, we broadcast is always about Sierra Leone. We'll focus on Sierra Leone today because we all know say next week get for make Sierra Leone 56 years after independence from British or from Britain, right? We get for turn 56 years. And so we all the gear up for celebrate a Sierra Leone independence. All side where you call Salomon one for celebrate Sierra Leone independence. But then we not think, because sometimes we get carried away by the moment. That moment we don't come, wait till it happen, the frenzy of that moment, they carry we away. We forget about asking pertinent questions. When they celebrate Sierra Leone independence, what are we actually celebrating? What would they celebrate? You know, like when people they say we want independence. I want for let you give me freedom. I want to be independent. Independence means you want for stand on your own. You now don't reach a point wherein you feel say you go able for take care of yourself. You don't need anybody else for take care of you. So now that make way Sir Mitimaga and all the other forefathers they be going at the Lancaster House now London, England, United Kingdom, where they negotiate with the British government for may they allow them for may they take over ownership of Sierra Leone after 150 years of British rule. And so that negotiation ended with an agreement for say yes, the British were ready to turn over the country to us. And so now that could be get independence. And so we get for take a close look at waiting be done they happen at the country from 1961 to 2017. And of course compare the two events them. Waiting be they go on in the 60s, in the 70s, and waiting they go on now, na Sierra Leone. Compare the two. And we want to make a specific reference to some of the activities that will be done to take place in Sierra Leone this BNTM. And to all be done, they see who side the police, they clash with the youths them, with university students, to the point that they use live ammunition. We don't they see who side Salon people that they kill other Sierra Leoneans them, cut them body parts them, you know, for ritual murders, for ritual sacrifices. We don't see that one day. And so inside with me today, we also get the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs. We now we own brother, retired Major Ishmail Sengu Koroma. Again for talk to we today about all of these issues. And so we want for me you sit on tight as we continue for bring this show to you, because this is very important. Stick around with us, all right? All right, and so me fam with them Sierra Leone independence 56 years after we would don't sign independence for let we take our country back. Waiting we go show for the independence we'll get. Waiting we go show, right? Now that's not the main theme of we broadcast today in our Sherix Broadcast Network. Waiting we go show from April 27, 1961, 56 years after independence from British rule. What can Sierra Leoneans show for their independence? That's what we are going to talk about here exclusively today on this broadcast. And we feel say this is not a very important program we for show now, because thinking about everything else where they go on at the country, we think for, Salone people them, a very difficult for make we, a very easy for them to forget. Terrible things think it don't happen with we, but then suddenly we they forget. So it always fine for let we able for refresh with memories back to some of them things that we don't happen. In fact, that make way some of we very grateful to the revolution we don't take place in technology. We make it possible now for let we able for share information like this with fellow Sierra Leoneans all over the world. And so for them one that we're not doing right now when they watch this live show, of course the recorded version of this show get for day where you go back and see later on. But it go fine for let you know waiting really we don't benefit from. Because when you talk say I want independence, that means you don't put yourself together, you don't do a SWOT analysis. We get this thing we call SWOT analysis. That now SWOT, SWOT, right? S means a strength, W is for weakness, O is for opportunities, and T is for threats. Anything where you do in this world, you want to divide yourself into 4 parts. You're able to take a critical look at yourself. Say, what are my strengths? For this kind of situation where I want to put myself inside. Waiting at the strengths and where I get. Waiting at my weaknesses. What are the opportunities that are available to me in this position or in this situation? And what are the threats that I will face once I find myself in this situation? So we are looking at Sierra Leone today from that perspective. Even though we're not going to do a SWOT analysis on Sierra Leone today, but in the near future we'll be able to do a SWOT analysis on Sierra Leone for able to see waiting na the SWOT analysis, because SWOT analysis is necessary for able for give you an idea so that you go able for position yourself for do an effective management of a situation. But we're not going to do that one in today. We'll go do them later. The only thing is it is a time for us to begin to reflect on waiting we don't benefit from this independence what they talk about. Waiting we don't benefit from the independence. I'm sorry guys. I'm very sorry about that. Waiting we don't benefit from. We will tell the British and say we want for me to give a country back to we. Waiting we don't do so far. From 1961 to now. So that is what we are going to talk about today. Right? So stick around. So actually talking about this fact, we want to bring you some facts and figures. Because when we bring you the facts and figures, maybe that will able to remind you a little bit about some of the things that we need for don't know. Because once we pay attention to these things, it can able for help we for know whether we go in the right direction or we go in the wrong direction. Of course, plenty Salone people there. I would say almost majority of Sierra Leoneans around the world, including those in Sierra Leone, they know say the country not they go in the right direction. We all know that. But we all can talk say, oh, Salone not they go before, Salone not they better. But we not they really pay attention to some specific things that way they happen. Where they make with the few say the country not they go before. And so looking at some facts and figures, let us start with the resources that we God give we. As a country, waiting at some of the things that we God don't endow we with. You know, things that we God don't give we, where other countries they not get. First of all, we get diamond in our country. All man know that. We get gold. We get bauxite. We get iron ore. We get rutile. We get chromite. We get titanium. We get fish inside water them. The land where God give we a fertile. We get plenty water. We get forest. And more. If I get for continue for add, it not go done. Even with the Salone people them, we so look good per we body that any side we go we look distinct. And apart from that, we smart now with brain, we intelligent. This is Sierra Leoneans. This is some of the things that we God don't give we. Right? Other countries then when you look at other countries, either they not even get water, then people that get for travel up to 15-20 miles. For me, they go get water for drink. Some countries and they where people that they die because water not there for drink. The animals, the livestock, when they get, then they die because there is no water. Right? God don't bless you with water. Any sign at Sierra Leone where you go, you dig small, you go most rich water. Now so we get the rivers, then they flow, the streams, then they flow. We get the ocean. Right? Sierra Leone is just beautiful. God don't endow you with all of these things. When they see Japanese, then they come all the way from Japan, that they can't fish inside water because of the kind fish will get inside water. Then fish that will get inside water, and not they now most part of the world. Now then your water them will they get. Now then salt water them. They're not getting kind fish that will get in Sierra Leone. So God don't endow we, God don't bless we, and we country so small, a very small country. So by right, no Sierra Leone are not supposed for the suffer. No Sierra Leone are not supposed for the na any other parts in the world. A Sierra Leone just supposed for go either vacation at places like America, or like England, Germany, Australia. We just need for go vacation for like 1 week, 2 weeks. We go back in our country because everything for be available in our country, everything. But right now, as I speak to you now, you go find out say Sierra Leone and they when they pray to God right now, let God give them the chance for let come on as Sierra Leone, even if na Guinea they go, may go tap it because of the prevailing circumstances in the country. So let's take a look at waiting at some of the problems then where Sierra Leone they don't they face since we get independence from the British, because all time will say, oh, we want to get independence. Waiting at some of the problems the whole country really they face, what we need for pay attention to. Number one, mismanagement. Mismanagement. All them tears waiting at the left hand side, waiting inside God, when are the things that we God don't give we're not able for manage them well. We don't mismanage them very properly, either because of ignorance or because of greed or because of selfishness. We don't mismanage with resources. Of course, corruption. Corruption don't ingrain into every fabric of the Sierra Leonean society. There is corruption. So that's another worm, another cancer where they eat into the fabric of our country. And the thing very bad about Sierra Leone is that the one that will put into position of leadership, they not they think about waiting the coming generation, which kind of preparations whether they do so that the one day where these other Sierra Leoneans that were not born yet, when they come, which kind of future will they prepare for them? We are not thinking about that. As they put somebody in a position, we begin calling the power. Then now the next thing is, I'm not going to come up at this position where I not do better for myself. In whichever way they do it. So corruption is another important thing we'll get for pay attention to, right? Greed. What's in a greed? The one that way God don't bless them, where they get that the country, they not they share with the one that we not get. So Sierra Leone are one of the countries on earth where you go there, you see a clear line between the one that we get and the one that we not get. Right? That's another thing. Hunger, with people that are hungry, any time where you go to Sierra Leone, people don't have food to eat. Any country we're not able to feed in people them is doomed to fail. The basic thing that we're not supposed to even import any type of food in Sierra Leone. God don't give we everything we're able to produce we own food from, we're able to eat. But the people are always hungry, there's no food. Starvation, the people are starving. Right? Civil war come. You know, these are things that will happen after independence. The civil war, the 11-year brutal civil war will happen in the country. Unemployment, the youth them not get woke. The one that will get the strength, they get the stamina, they get the qualifications, they don't have jobs. So they are living in despair and hopelessness. Of course, poor health care. That's not the other one. Poor health care. Poor education. Poor leadership. Bad governance. Poor institutions. These are the things that are killing us as Sierra Leoneans. Right? These are the things. So, since we don't get independence, we don't tell the white people, they say, we'll go able to manage yourself now. So, when I give our country back, we don't take our country back. But these are the problems we don't create for our country. And nobody know they out there will go tell me, say, what will they talk na lie, not to true. If you feel say what they talk now and a lie, we want for me you type something right now in the comment section at Facebook for Tewi. What do you feel about this broadcast? What do you feel about the information we talk about? Right? And then let's look at even the population growth in the country. How the population grow from after we don't get independence onto this day we at the talk to now. How will population don't grow? Because sometimes some of the reasons why they make a government not able for cater to the needs of its people. Now when the population don't surplus, it don't pass the resources where God give the country. If the population don't pass the resources, then of course government will scramble here and there for able for cater to the needs. But looking at our own population in Sierra Leone, right? Looking at our own population in Sierra Leone, 1963, just 2 million people, just a little above 2 million people. 1974, 2,700,000 people. 1985, 3.5 million people. 2004, almost 5 million people, right? 2015, that are the recent census what they don't do, are 7 million people plus. Now look at that population. This is now for a whole country, and compare that population to the population of New York City, when I just one city in America. The population are 8 million plus, right? 8 million plus. We are just 7 million, a whole country. So meaning that the mayor of New York City is 2 times the president of Sierra Leone. Look at all the NCA we got on New York not even get half. But you not go even dream for compare the lifestyle in New York and that of Sierra Leone. So when people that they make glady but independence, you know, all man they dance, whether they pull them, whether they do, what are we dancing for? I mean, it is always good to celebrate your independence. Really, it's good. We know they discourage people from celebrating. But why should they celebrate? You need to ask yourself that question. What are we celebrating? Are we celebrating all of these problems that our country has gone through? The mismanagement, the corruption, the greed, hunger, starvation, civil war, unemployment, poor healthcare, poor education, poor leadership, poor governance, poor institutions. Is that what we are celebrating? To me, I feel say when Sierra Leone independence comes, it is a time for Sierra Leoneans to sit down and reflect on waiting they go on at the country. It is a time for us to pray for a divine intervention in the country. For let God go intervene into our situation. It is a time for us to think about our country in that direction. Right? So that is what the focus is here today. So one for me, stick around as we continue for bring you the information here.
Feeling in Freetown, capital of Sierra Leone, as Independence Day drew near. Divine service on the previous Sunday in St. George's Cathedral was a Thanksgiving at which the Archbishop of York officiated. An air of rejoicing could be sensed everywhere. In the colony and protectorate of Sierra Leone, there has been none of the strife which elsewhere has sometimes preceded the granting of independence. Visible on all sides was the joy of people welcoming their new status, happy that they would soon be standing on their own feet. But there was no resentment of their past colonialism. Long affection between the British and the Creoles ensured a smooth changeover. Evidence that Independence Day was rapidly approaching was the arrival of the Duke of Kent. His Royal Highness represented the Queen. He was welcomed by Sir Maurice Dorman, the Governor of Sierra Leone, who presented Lady Dorman. Premier Sir Milton Margai presented the many important people who had come from all over the colony to pay their respects. The Guard of Honor was paid the compliment of a proper inspection by a professional soldier. The Duke was enthusiastically acclaimed all the way from the airport to the city boundary of Freetown. As far back as 1799, Freetown received its royal charter. Now, the mayor and aldermen welcomed the Duke with a loyal address and presented him with a gold key bearing the crest of the city. The forms of British municipal government are punctiliously observed. After that ceremony, the Duke drove to Government House, where he stayed for the next few days. Next day, there was a regatta, mainly an affair of canoe racing, with the type of craft used in unloading merchant ships at places on the West African coast where there are no harbors. Not all the fun was on the water. At Brookfield's recreation ground, there was a display of traditional dancing. At the Government House garden party, the Duke met most of the important persons of the colony and protectorate, presented by the Governor and Lady Dorman. The colony, established at Freetown and its surroundings, is peopled by the Creoles, descended from the liberated slaves who settled there in the late 18th century. The protectorate consists of the hinterland, inhabited by a variety of tribes, mostly Muslims. British control of it dates from the 1890s. The Duke earned praise by the friendly manner with which he won the confidence of the guests. He spoke to nearly all of them, certainly to representatives of every part of the protectorate. It all seemed to indicate that the old antagonisms between the Creoles and the tribesmen will disappear when independence gives to all of them the feeling that Sierra Leoneans are one nation, women included. Under the new constitution, the House of Representatives will be open to women members. The first one to be elected is Madam Ella Gulama on the left. Madam Ella sits for the Moyamba district. How different it must all have been for rulers in the hill country, not far away, and little touched as yet by European ways. Sierra Leone's Prime Minister, Sir Milton Margai, was a happy man as he drove to the state opening of Parliament. Cameraman Pat Whitaker headed the Pathé film team, putting on record this historic day in the life of the country. The Queen, in sending her cousin to represent her on this day, underlined the close ties between the royal house and the colony and protectorate. The representatives were already assembled to hear the Duke read the speech from the throne. In that message, Her Majesty welcomed Sierra Leone into the Commonwealth family of nations. Then, as her representative, the Duke conveyed the royal instruments of Sierra Leone independence to the Prime Minister, Sir Milton Margai. All over the country, it was the signal for rejoicing, much of it expressed in dancing. Britain and the rest of the Commonwealth wholeheartedly welcome Sierra Leone into the British family of free peoples.
Right. And so, me famudem, isn't that beautiful? That was independence celebration na Sierra Leone. You know, you see inside the video where you don't just watch, you see that everybody gladdy. Now the country, all man they in a celebration mood. because the people them we get for faith hard for let gather independence. They were very hopeful for say indeed as a country and as a people we were capable enough for let we able for take care of ourselves, for let we able for advance the country to the next level. But is that true today? I mean, based on everything where they go on, can you say that is what is going on in the country? You know, let me just share you a video one for compare 1961 and what they go on now, right? Okay, so on your screen right now, two videos that you see on your screen. Sierra Leone in 1961. On your right hand side, now Sierra Leone today, right? And so once on the left hand side, you see with people that will be very hopeful. All man be there in a very hopeful gear. We feel say we country get from advance in a very good way. We people that don't go school, they don't learn, they don't acquire the necessary university education. We go able for help, for able for lead the country in a good way. Can we say we were able to achieve that today? I mean, look at the video on your right hand side. Can you say we were able to achieve that? And so when people that they celebrate independence, it go find for level they pay attention to these two things, right? Level they pay attention to what really they go on. Now with this kind of condition where they go on the right hand side, you really think say we need for celebrate independence? And if we get for celebrate independence, of course it's always necessary for level celebrate independence. If we are going to celebrate independence, waiting at the hallmarks, waiting at some of the key activities we will need for engage yourself in, right? Yourself they see is from one problem to another problem, you know, from 1961 coming down. Even though some of we not been born yet, but because of oral and written history, where they don't, with family they don't hand them down to we. From 1961 to 1964 or 1967, I can say, the country be run smoothly. Education be advanced. Agriculture was doing well to the extent that Sierra Leone be even export rice out of the country. You know, the healthcare was a big good thing. It was very nice. It was very good. Everything be go on fine. The economy was up there. And then after the 1967 elections, now confusion began happen. Then Sojaman they begin for overthrow governments. They overthrow to the point that in 1969, the governor general of the country by then, when I be a Sierra Leonean by the name of Tijansi, take the country and hand it over to Shaka Stephen, because now Shaka Stephen win the 1967 election. But they not give him the power because Sojaman they will be loyal to the SLPP government. They go overthrow the government. They not agree for let them hand over the government to the person who win when I be Shaka Stevens. And so if they out of power, Sojaman they take over, this person take over, that they take over, this take over, that they take over. 1969 I then give Shaka Stevens the country. When he serve all the country, he serve they miss him for doing bad for kill him. So what he serve do 1978, bam, now he say one party state now the country. Meaning that no other political party not get any right for form in the country for participate in the politics of the country. And from 1978, pass away the Sojaman and pulled them inside 1992. 24 years, pass away and pulled them come out. Una all know, una believe under them circumstances that una know waiting to be the state of affairs in Sierra Leone from 1978 to 1992. And then 1991 rebel war don't come in, right? The fate happened from 1991 to 2002. Then we get a small sigh of relief between 1996 and 2011, where SLPP been there at least, even though team is still stronger, kind of. And then APC take over. They said they try small, you know, with the road construction, you know, electricity. They don't try, you know. But still, people that they suffer. Still, violence they happen here and there between the police, the youths, the students. You know, people that they cry at the country with hunger, things that they still go bad. And then here we are as a people, we are still saying, let us continue to celebrate Sierra Leone independence. Of course, everybody for celebrate Sierra Leone independence. But when they celebrate Sierra Leone independence, I think say we for do more of prayers. Let's pray more. Let God intervene inside with situation, because situation not so bad off that we need God for intervene right about this time, right? And so me fam with them. These are some of the things that we'll be one for bring count to una today. For let's pay a little attention to these important things when they go on. So one for me stick around as we continue for bring you the program, right?
No mama come mia.
Real bats, real.
My friends are collabo.
Who that they say no they see the boys oh. And it's how we bust up. Who that they say the boys not real oh. So sorry. And it's how we pass they say so sorry. So just
tell it up on ya
not to talk of we money oh, eh. Every day we dey jolly you, eh. Oh my God, oh. Girls when they come, then they shout with name. Collabo, collabo, collabo. Now so they shout with name. Collabo, collabo, collabo. Anytime we go. Collabo, collabo. Who that say you no sabi the boy name? Collabo, collabo, collabo. You must know the name.
No mama come la me I want no. Nyale gigan and I demand the one go. So follow me full step, I'ma keep a look at me a minute. Before you remember say the baba don't blow. Jifaga ule kele ka we masha gure bigu tutu potana gule konga loli flow. Ya kone uvanyanga lin collabo ekende. Mende kele kwa wije ya konga tijenje. Nyanga togo to tatagale, tanyalo te collabo takiwale. Nyanga togo to tatagale, tanyalo te collabo takiwale. Man they claim real gold, but then like copper, not compare the right guy. So then show topper. Make a shot at the rapper, make the people they scatter. See me blessing the shine, nobody no go tap em. Collabo, collabo, collabo.
Now so they shout with them.
Collabo, collabo, collabo.
Anytime we go.
Collabo, collabo.
Who that say you no sabi the boy name?
Collabo, collabo, collabo.
You must know the name.
Enyanga le mwoso me. Sika kwa nyama inga potanife. Nyale viga na nunga se collabo. They forget to do bobo na be the repo. Nyale galina, take balina, nunga telina, topo elina, sabe kende. Nyale galina, o elina, topo elina, nunga telina, mome bende. Collabo amayi sese, kopo bi Abuja nyama pepe. The All-Stars president, father of the groove, nunga tanyalu ya keke.
So sorry, and it's how we pass, they say so sorry. So just we body fresh, they say get. Oh nana, it's not easy to the chill with the president oh, and the ministers. Now so the girls when they pass and they shout with them.
Collabo, collabo, collabo.
Now so they shout with them.
Collabo, collabo, collabo.
Anytime we go.
Collabo, collabo.
Who that say you no sabi the boy name?
Collabo, collabo, collabo.
You must know the name. Yeah. It's a Hakuna Matata.
Yes, my family, of course, like I've been telling you now, that's now collabo again, featuring I Tribe, of course, with a track titled So We. Of course, I like this guy bad, you know, that guy who just don't slam into the Sierra Leone musical business, entertainment industry, and of course, I like his style bad. I like where they intertwine the Creole, the Mende, and of course, it keep them into that Western style as well. It add all the flavors then together. I hope say this guy I get for be one of the band, one of the big time musical artists that like, you know, Emerson them, you know, LXG, of course, K-Man them, instead go for come with your own style. I like your own twist wiggy to the song. Of course, collabo featuring I Tribe, track title So We. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back to we discussion also. You know, on this day, we try for, you know, begin for celebrate Salon independence. Of course, now Salon was born we always get for Leku country. When the independence time come, we get for celebrate them. But some of we, why should they celebrate Salone independence? Would they really reflect on the realities na the ground? Now this kind country where we forefathers they be envisage, whether they sit down at that Lancaster Hall in London, whether they discuss, whether they negotiate with the British government for making hand over the country back to we as Sierra Leoneans there. This country we will get today. Now that kind of country they will forefathers they be they envisage. Now that kind of country where they be they expect for let it be today. And so for all the one that where they in position of authority, this question goes to all of you. You know, is this what the forefathers expected for Sierra Leone? I mean, just 7 million people were not able for 56 years, were not able for do anything for we safe. You know, sometimes they will then some of we, you know, don't kind of them with man and country within so we don't educate ourselves, we don't acquire the knowledge, there's everything. Man and go on for go back and actually try for implement these things back there. But the everything that the country don't become political. Anything where they do na Sierra Leone now, whether na development program they can go, whether na projects you get to, whether na religion or anything now, you have to have a mix of politics in it before you survive. So that they hold the development back. Now they hold the development down. And so as we independence they come, some of we really believe say this get for serve as a symbol. So we all for let really reflect on whether this na the country where we forefathers them they expect for let we get 56 years after independence. You know, one of the things that way Sierra Leone, I mean, all the resources we God give we, if Salone pay attention to only one, it will be able to change all man in lifestyle. Let us take agriculture for instance. If Sierra Leone really, you know, if the leaders, the one that they elect into leadership positions in the country, if they are really serious about development in Sierra Leone, let them forget about all other areas, let them focus on agriculture. Agriculture alone will change the lives of Sierra Leoneans inside 2 to 5 years. All man in life will change in the country. And how does that happen? Through agriculture, the country will able for create employment. I don't know why Sierra Leone not the focus on that issue of employment. When people then we get the manpower, we get everything, they're ready for work, but work not there for do. That is not good for any country. So if the country pay attention to agriculture, and not to just because okay, anyway, they talk about agriculture, oh, we don't give some money for people that for men and go do subsistence farming, oh, we don't buy tractors, they will don't give some. This is not the approach way into agriculture we go able for change Sierra Leone. This na sycophancy, na hypocritical approach. This na what they say lackadaisical approach na in all of this where you want to do something no more for pretend for say oh no I want to do something no more na pretend they pretend. You self know say in reality you know either you know get idea how for do them, you are ignorant about doing it, or you really get idea but you are just wicked, you know how for do them. Why the government not go take agriculture as one of in focus areas? They will say, you know, the left and give Salone people. You as the government, you they actually make them as a government entity in the country, wherein you do a mechanized farming. Me not do agriculturist too, but I guess more idea. Let the country embark on mechanized farming, wherein they employ the youths then at the country for men and go na them farm, then they men and go work, men and go plant rice. Men and go plant pepper, yabas, chagato, cassava leaf, cassava, all the food they all they eat. Men they just plant it all over the country. Let the government sponsor, let people the way they work in them place, then they men then pay their money either every month or every 2 weeks. Men then go to pay their money, right? You go find out say after 1 year of hard work in them farms, and they Sierra Leone go able to get enough food. One, the price of food go down. All man go able to afford the food. Secondly, we go get so much that we will begin to export them out of the country. And third, we they employ people that for men working at them farm, then they. So anytime where government you pay them workers, then the money then they use them. So the money goes into circulation. So even the person who not they working at the agricultural farm, and they still get a share of that money where they go into circulation. Let we assume say that person they sell per mine, person they sell yes. The one where they working at the farm where they don't pay them, that money they go buy renting and those people benefit as well. And so you they stimulate the economy. Where the money they go around, people that know they suffer too much. So agriculture alone can change the lives of the people in that country. Let alone we talk about effective management of the mineral resources and the marine resources as well. The fish, the organ of water, right? So during this voter registration, I see the Minister of Agriculture. They try for talk to people there about what they need for do. Let's see that.